How's it going, guys? aRenG Live here, and today we're talking about the new leaked set that's coming to Duel Links called Rampage of the Forest. This is the new mini box promising support for plants and bugs. First impression, this set looks pretty good. Like, I can't lie, this set looks almost busted. Like, it definitely counters sea stealth attack, like water decks. The main box monster easily counters that deck. It looks pretty insane. Let's go ahead and just jump right in and start talking about the main cards you're going to be looking for. Alright, the first card we're looking at is Metamorphosis Insect Queen. This is a UR, and I have to say, this is the start of something very interesting in Duel Links. Because this is probably the second time that we've gotten a card that is kind of an evolution of an older Duel Monsters upgraded boss character card. First one we got was the upgraded Mako card, I believe, which was pretty good and actually took over the meta for a while. But now we're getting upgraded Weevil stuff, so I think this is new in the TCG. So I think Konami is going to start especially printing certain cards that would be in the TCG, they'd be fan favorite, kind of like fan service cards, but in Duel Links I think they would kind of take over the meta, which is pretty crazy, and I think I kind of like that. So we got that Metamorphosed Insect Queen. Let's go ahead and read her effect. I'll show you exactly how busted this card is. Alright, so in the beginning it does state, cannot be normal summoned or set. Alright, fair enough, but it must be special summoned by a card effect. Alright, well, she's a 2800 insect, level 7, so you probably don't want to normal summon her either way, which is fine. If another insect monster is on the field, your opponent cannot target insect monsters you control with card effects. Also, they cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. And at the end of the damage step, if this card attacked, you contribute one monster, and this card can attack your opponent's monster again in a row. That is pretty crazy so far. Like, we're looking at something fairly busted. It makes it so your opponent's stuff can't target your insects. If you're playing insect deck, then you're pretty much safe. The only thing they can do is run over your monsters with, like, just straight up overpower them. They're not able to target them. They're not able to destroy them. So even in the case where, I know in Duel Links we don't have stuff like Raigeki or something where it destroys everything, but there are some cards that kind of do certain things that are similar, but even that would not be viable. They can't be destroyed, they can't be targeted. We're moving on to some TCG level stuff. Cannot be targeted, cannot be destroyed, cannot be this, cannot be negated, all that stuff. It's coming to Duel Links, so power creep is here, dude. And it also continues to state, once per turn, during the end phase, you can special summon one insect monster token. It's an insect earth, level 1, attack 100, 100. Alright, so it's 100 attack, 100 defense. Which is okay, because you can actually tribute those for the second attack. Now, I'm saying Insect Queen looks really good. Really, really good. And the thing is, you special summon her from the deck, for the most part. If you're looking at other support that we're getting, you're going to be able to special summon her directly from the deck, which is pretty insane. I actually might skip and go straight to the support that summons her, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. The card I'm talking about is called Cocoon of Ultra Evolution. This one just states, tribute one insect monster from either field equipped with an equip card. So you know that means it's got some synergy with DNA Surgery. DNA Surgery has always been like a insect support, which is pretty crazy. So it does have to be equipped with an equip card. I'm still looking into what would be the optimal equip we use with them, but I don't know yet. I'm still looking into that. Tribute that monster with an equip to special summon one insect monster from the deck, from your deck at least, ignoring its summoning conditions. So right there, that's instant summon for the Metamorphosed Insect Queen. So you can get her out fairly easy. Another pretty good thing you can use is Pinch Hopper. In case you run like 3 copies of Insect Queen in your deck, and you happen to draw one, you summon a Pinch Hopper, and if he gets destroyed or sent to the grave by whatever, you get to summon her from the hand, which is pretty busted as well. So that's pretty crazy. I'm already looking at some plays where you run a bunch of big insects and maybe a Pinch Hopper or 3 Pinch Hoppers to special summon them, and some of the other insect support we're going to be talking about. But it does continue to state, during your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, target one insect monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then draw one card. You can only use the effect of Cocoon of Ultra Evolution once per turn. Now that's insane. the ability to actually serve as an extra effect, like it's viable in the grave too, because it lets you draw. That's what makes a card good. So that's already looking really good, really strong. I just gotta say, Cocoon of Ultra Evolution and the Insect Queen combo looking pretty strong. And the thing is, we're not even looking at just Insect Queen as a potential boss monster. No, there's more boss stuff in here. So let's keep going. Next card we're looking at is called Armored Bee, and this is also a UR. This is a mini box, so these are the only 2 URs we are getting. So that's pretty cool. I mean, it should be fairly easy to actually make this kind of deck. So this card does state, once per turn you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, half that target's attack until the end phase. So this thing can pretty much run over most things. They summon a 3000 attack monster, you can run over it. It's just that simple. So it's pretty crazy, just the ability to do that. So I remember seeing this guy in the TCG and finding out about it, and I was like, wow, this card's actually busted. Like, this card nobody pays attention to is actually good. And yeah, it is. It is actually really good because it's a 4-star, 1600. You can pretty much run over whatever monster they have, for the most part, unless they summon something way too crazy strong. But if you are running it with certain support, you could potentially run over most things. Our Armored Bee is a good addition to that insect deck because it prevents your opponents from running you over. Because, like I said before, the only way to kill your monsters is to run them over. And this thing makes it to where even their high attack monsters are not safe. So it's covering itself. It's really protecting itself. But moving on, next boss monster we're looking at is Dozer, and this is an SR, so this is easier to get for you guys. This is probably going to be your budget insect deck boss monster. This one just says it cannot be normal summon or set, and it must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 2 insect type monsters from your grave, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. So, unfortunately, the pinch hopper method probably won't work on this guy, since you do have to summon him by his own summoning method. But the thing is, if you got 2 insects in the grave, you can just summon this guy. This is like a chaos monster, dude. This is why I like chaos dragons. Whatever. We got this guy that can just summon himself, and it does state, when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, send the top card of their deck to the grave. Now, that looks pretty cheeky. That's pretty crazy. The ability to just kind of mill a card off the top of their deck, I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant, but the thing is, you are sending a potential, like, good card to the grave. So, like, I don't know, maybe something that would have powered up their monster, something that would have given them their play to the grave. They can't even use it, which is pretty cool. I actually kind of like this guy. He's 2800, pretty strong. I can see somebody running this card at like 1 or not. I would say 2 is pushing it in an Insect Queen type deck, but I don't know. It just looks like a pretty cool card. Also, you can summon it from the deck, ignoring its summoning conditions with that Cocoon of Evolution, whatever card, which is pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. So you can summon this guy from the deck, or you could just, if it's in your hand, you can banish 2 insects, which is really nice. I actually really like this card. Moving on to some of the lesser relevant cards, we got the Rock Spirit. It's just a card that's been in Duel Links for a while. They're finally giving it to us, dude. I mean, I think at this point, it's okay because it can be special summoned. It's alright. 1700, level 4 Earth Rock Monster. And you could summon him by banishing 1 Earth Monster in the grave. Alright, pretty good. And it increases this guy's attack by 300, so he becomes 2000 during the battle phase. And then you can special summon him. So I'm not saying he's bad. He's pretty decent, but he's not really like, I wouldn't say it's that meta, but it's a pretty good card. It's definitely good. It might be seeing some play in, like, I don't know, Magnet Warriors or something. That could definitely work. Rocks really like to play with like the whole banish thing, so rocks are like their own thing, dude. They're on their own little Chaos Dragon shenanigans. But whatever, Rock Spirit looks pretty decent. Next card we're looking at is another fairly decent looking card, and I'm saying fairly decent. I'm not saying that it's good yet, but it has potential. And this is Giga Plants. This is an SR, and this one does state this card is treated as a normal monster, so it's a Gemini. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and skip over the Gemini text that every Gemini has and read the effect. So, once it's a Gemini monster, once it's summoned again, you get to activate his effect that says, once per turn, you can special summon 1 insect or plant monster from your hand or graveyard. Now, what a coincidence. That's everything that's in this set, dude. All we get is insect and plant. So this card supports both type of decks that you want to make. And I do say both type of decks because I've only been covering insects up until this point. But I'm about to go into the next one with the next card that we're looking at. So, next card we're looking at is called Sylvan Komoshrumo. And this is a Sylvan card, if you guys haven't realized. Sylvans are coming to Duel Links. I kind of figured as much when we saw that one support card in the leaks. I forget what it's called. I'm putting the card image up right here. Ever since we saw that card, or since I saw that card, I knew Sylvans were coming. Because Sylvans benefit greatly from that card. So Sylvans are an archetype that kind of works by excavating the top cards of your deck. You have to call the top card of your deck correctly to get their effects. I can possibly foresee that people are going to be running this with the Roma strategy, since that's what you're doing anyway. They do it with Sphinx all the time. Komoshrumo is like the only SR that we're getting for Sylvans. But the good thing is we're getting a whole bunch of rares that are also Sylvans. So we're getting like a whole Sylvan archetype. So there should be a lot of interesting Sylvan decks. I think they're pretty good, but I don't think they're going to be able to beat bugs. But I don't know. You never know. Sylvans were actually pretty strong in their time. But that is including their XCs and whatnot. So I don't know. So we still gotta keep an eye out for them. All right, and the next card we're looking at is Trunade. Oh yeah! All right, so we got Trunade. This card is really crazy because this is one of the new cards, or it's kind of a revamped Giant Trunade that was an older card in the TCG that got banned straight up. It was too OP. Like, sends all back row back to the hands. This one only returns all set back row back to the on the field to the hand. So this is pretty good. This is actually a really good card. I can foresee this being really actually kind of relevant because it's just a card you can play, kind of like an anti-magic arrows. It feels because it bounces everything back real quick, and it's just a really good card. I mean, they could probably chain whatever they want to chain, but the thing is, it does force their activation or bounce everything back. So, really good card. It's new in the TCG. It's new in Duel Links. I think we're going to start seeing this a lot more often now. Newer cards in the TCG, probably reprints of older cards or revamps of older cards coming to Duel Links. I think that's pretty crazy. Next card we're looking at is called Dark Core. This is another SR. This is one of those cards that was like overlooked in the TCG. Not a lot of people talked. Actually, nobody talked about this card. I saw it in like a pile of cards that like kind of commons or something like that, rares that nobody really cared about, and I was like, this card's pretty good. This card's not bad. It's basically discard one card, then target one face-up monster on the field, banish that target. It's kind of like a Tribute to the Doomed, but you banish the target. It's not bad. It's better than Tribute to the Doomed in some situations, because a lot of cards benefit from being sent to the grave nowadays. So being banished, always better than like destroying things, for the most part, unless you're going up against like a different dimension deck or DD deck. But whatever, we got Dark Core, pretty good card, not bad. I think this card is actually pretty cool. This set is looking pretty promising so far. We got a lot of like things that support insects. We got plants. We got just one-off good spells that look pretty decent. And moving on to the last SR in the set, we got Memory Loss. It's okay, I guess. I mean, it looks pretty decent. I mean, it does have an interesting ability. I don't know how it's going to match up against, like, the insects in this set. I just don't know. But let's go ahead and talk about this card's effect. It does state, when a face-up attack position monster your opponent controls just activated an effect, except during the damage step, of course, negate that effect, and if you do, change that monster to face-up defense. That's all it does. It negates their effect, switch them to defense. That could be pretty good. It's kind of like a breakthrough skill, I believe, but I think that just negates their effect. This one at least puts them in defense, but breakthrough skill can activate in the grave once again, so I think breakthrough skill might be a little bit better. I don't know, man. I still haven't gotten a chance to test this card out. I think it will be seeing some play. Some people we're gonna make this card good, but as of now, it's being overshadowed by all the bug support. And that pretty much covers all the new, at least URs and SRs in this new set. I kind of highly recommend this set. If you guys are newer to Duel Links, you guys don't know if you want to spend on it, I recommend you do. If you can get at least one or two of the big insect and boss monsters, you can make some pretty cheeky decks with these support cards. I just gotta say, man, these cards look pretty decent. Also, if you are able to pull enough of the SRs and URs from this set, I just think a lot of these cards are really good. Having a Dark Core in multiple decks, that would be pretty nice too. Hey, Trunade is really good. I think Dark Core just kind of ruins Phoenix. So, hey, Trunade also kind of like messes with a whole bunch of decks since you bounce all the set stuff back to the hand, so not bad. And if you guys enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like, share, and subscribe for more Duel Links shenanigans. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today. Have a great day, and see you guys.